All right, so one of the most powerful things you can do for your kids when they're having a really hard time is not trying to use statements or convince them of something different. What I mean by this is, like, if they're sitting there saying, like, I am not good at this, or this is way too hard, or I am not pretty enough, or I'm not strong enough, or I don't know, whatever it may be, one of the things that parents default to is explaining and using statements like, no, honey, you are this thing. And that never really convinces anyone of anything, because there's a belief, there's an emotion that's going on inside of their head or their body. And sitting there and telling them that that thing is not valid, or it's different, or it's not true, doesn't really shift the way they're thinking about it. But asking really good questions does. And here's a perfect example. If my daughter went to tennis and she had a really bad practice or missed the ball and is like, I'm not good at tennis and blah, 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 blah. One of the things that I can start to ask is, well, how do you know that you're not good at tennis? And the answer will actually give me the foundation of where that belief is coming from. What is the foundation that belief that she's creating in her head comes from? And she might say, well, I missed the ball a million times. And then now, instead of using a statement to say, like, no, you are good at tennis, I can give a better, more powerful statement at this point, because I have the information I need, which is like, well, I heard Robert Federer give a speech to the college where he said he missed 54% of the shots that he ever took. And what he said was, the best tennis players in the world are the ones who miss the shots but get up and continue anyways. What do you think would happen if you did that? And then all of a sudden we can start to shift the thinking. But when we just say, like, no, you are good at tennis, no, don't worry about it, you're gonna do better, it doesn't actually shift the foundation of the thinking, of the emotion and the belief that they're creating. Another thing we can do is ask questions that quantify the belief. So how will you know when you are good at tennis? How many shots do you need to make before you become good at tennis? And then who created? And she says, well, I need to make all of them. Who created that rule? Did you create that? Did coach create that? Is that just, I don't know where it came from. Okay, well, how many shots do we need to create in order for you to be good? Like, you combine that with emotional validation, that's what shifts your kids out of these downward spirals that they may be finding themselves in. So ask better questions to get to the foundation of where the belief is coming from, where the emotion is coming from. Then you can address the issue even better and ask questions that help quantify instead of just giving statements and trying to convince.